Good afternoon to you, Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com, here with your Hurricane Pro and HD video blog for Tuesday, the 24th of September, 2013. Take a look at this in the Gulf of Mexico. I guess it's a good thing for dry air and shear, right? That is a very well-developed low-pressure area that I refer to it as a dead hurricane. It's sort of the bones of a dead hurricane. This was 95L, but because of all the dry air and the strong upper-level winds across this region, this was not able to develop any more than what you see here. But some of the energy that came in with that tropical wave that did fester around here and become this is now exiting over here in the eastern Gulf right there. Remember, tropical waves represent heat in the atmosphere as well as energy. And even though you've got this low-pressure swirl sitting here, a lot of the energy with that tropical wave was torn off and sent off to the east here. Pretty wet conditions across a good deal of Florida. Something interesting might happen with this, though. It looks like a low-pressure area will try to develop off the coast here. Let me broaden out to a different satellite perspective. It looks like we may see low pressure develop off the coast here and then either do one of two things. Head on out to sea, which is typical of this time of year, or stick around a little bit, come back towards the coast, and then come up to the mid-Atlantic states, which is off the map up here to the north. Very similar to what we saw with Sandy last year in terms of that blocking pattern, not the intensity. Remember, Sandy got started down here in the Caribbean Sea. It first impacted Jamaica, then Cuba, came in through the Bahamas, milled around a little bit, looked like it was going to turn out, and then came back. Something similar to that path I just drew. So we'll see what happens. Let me show you a few graphics here. The water temperatures off the southeast and east coast are very warm still this time of year. And so if anything were to be able to try to do that, go out and then come back in towards the coast, you still have very warm water in here on the order of 29 to 30 degrees Celsius. We're talking mid-80s all the way as far north as 36 degrees latitude, which is right there. And even farther north than that, just depending on the configuration of the Gulf Stream. So bottom line, if something gets cranking, it's possible that it could have some tropical characteristics to it because it would get its origins down here where the water is very warm. So we'll have to see what happens. The Euro last night is what's really driving all of this. This is the 72-hour position of the overnight run of the Euro, and you see a pretty well-defined large low-pressure area to the southeast of Wilmington here at 72 hours. At 96 hours, it grows even stronger. A pretty large system here between Bermuda and Cape Hatteras, but instead of just heading on out, you see what happens here by day 5. It gets blocked, and look at that. It comes back towards the coast as a pretty strong system here. This would be a pretty potent sort of hybrid type storm, and then here's your large high coming off the northeast United States and the Canadian Maritimes, blocking this from going out to sea. So that by day 6, it's sitting there right along the coast. Pretty good wind maker, especially on the northeast side here, into the same areas that Sandy impacted last year. So this is something we're going to want to watch. It's either a fluke run of the model, although the Canadian, the CMC global model showed it too, or this energy will just go on out to sea and be handed off to the trough that's going to develop out here. So nothing going on now, but we may have something quite interesting developing over the next few days that could impact a lot of people, from the Outer Banks of North Carolina to the Tidewater of Virginia, all the way up through Maryland, Delaware, and maybe even New York. So stay tuned. I will certainly be watching it closely, and we'll see what happens. Other than that, things are nice and quiet. Have a good rest of your Tuesday. My throat trying to be scratchy again. I'll see if I can get over that quickly. And I'll be back tomorrow. Again, I'm Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com, my site. Always an honor and a privilege to do these videos for you on Hurricane Pro and HD. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.